So I'm 20 years old, so I haven't lived too much yet. But that doesn't mean that like I haven't lived, right? I guess I mean I haven't really been doing anything with my life. I don't have any ambitions, any dreams, any goals, no career, nothing. I discovered myself. I think June senior year. So you know how when you're born, there's like the switch in your brain that like turns on your not consciousness to your the thing that makes you alive, whatever, your instincts. And then once you get old enough, you're like there's another switch that like your consciousness turns on, and you can start like to talk and to read things. Like that's when you're a kid. And then I feel that there's like a third switch that turns you on to like the reality of like life and such. And and in my experience, most people got that. I think like sixth or seventh grade. So like when you're like 11, 12, 13, stuff like that. I feel like I got mine when I turned 16, 17, I think. And that feels late for me because I wasn't able to experience things or understand things like everyone else, at least from my perspective. Because whenever I look back on my memories of me doing anything, it feels like it feels like not like I'm an animal, but I'm just going with the flow of things and not thinking about anything and just acting and reacting to cause and effect and stuff like that. Uh, it's hard to put into words. I thought about it a lot, but I can't put it into words too well. It's like it's hard to say because I'm trying to come up with examples, but none of them are gonna work in this. It's like when people started making sex jokes and they started cursing for real, and they started doing drugs and alcohol when they're young, right? It's because they had that switch that makes them realize, oh, that's what like adults are like, and I can do that, or I can try to imitate that. That's kind of like what it's like, but I feel like I got that when I was in high school, not when I was in middle school. So like I wasn't able to experience things not correctly. No, I wasn't able to experience things. That's what it was. Um, because like now I think about things like a lot, and I'm able to converse with people I think decently well. I'm able to crack jokes and make fun times because I'm awake, quote unquote. And that only happened I think because so I've only been in one relationship. She broke up with me after 5 months for I don't remember the reason, and that made me super super depressed. And then as a result of that, I started to think about myself and life and other people and how other people are and what they do and stuff. So that's the reason why I woke up, quote unquote. I'm not explaining it too well, like how to understand what I mean by waking up and consciousness. It's kind of like I'm trying to use math as an example. Like it's kind of like math, where when you're first born, it's like math because you first see numbers and they're just numbers and that's it, and you don't know how to count and stuff. And then when you first wake up to consciousness, you're able to count numbers. And then once you have the being awake switch, you're able to add numbers together. So like your understanding and intelligence goes up, and you're able to experience things much more and much more vividly. I think that's right. Well, I first thought that everything sucked because before waking up, I thought because I still felt like a little 10-year-old where like everything was oh nice and dandy and everything was cool and fine and I was having a great time. But then when I woke up, I felt like everything was horrible. Everything sucked. I didn't want to do anything anymore. Well, did I lose it? I might have lost it because I keep thinking too much. No, I've only ever told one person besides you right now. I haven't told my parents. I haven't told my other siblings. I don't have any friends, so I can't tell my friends. So like no one. I don't tell anyone because it's hard to explain. It's hard to tell them that I didn't feel conscious before I was 16, 17. My girlfriend broke up with me, and that made me feel like shit. I didn't feel like I felt depressed, right? I felt like not living anymore. But as you can see, I'm still here, so I got over that. but it helped me to realize about reality, helped me face reality, about how everything sucks and there's no way to change it, so it's whatever. I don't know if I'm still depressed. I know that I don't want to. I don't want to kill myself, because when I thought about it, I thought that, oh, it'd be easier to just die, because then I won't have to deal with anything. But then I thought that why would I want to die if for the amount of time that I have, I can still experience the things that I love to experience. So I was able to not convince myself, but I guess I convinced myself that it's better to live on than it is to die right now, because I won't be able to eat burgers anymore. I won't be able to eat whatever other food. I won't be able to talk to people. I won't be able to do this. I wouldn't have been able to do this. Talk to you in a video game where we talk to other people. But like, I grew up in a household I grew up in a household where men don't really talk about their feelings. So what I did, and that still stuck with me because I don't talk to this about anyone. And I just think about it all the time, and I'm able to convince myself and stop myself. So I did it by myself. I thought it through and through and through and through and through every day as I just continued on. Yeah, we are the product of a generation told to keep silent about feelings, and then they taught us to do the same. But now we're realizing that that's bad, because I know it worked for me, like keeping it to myself and thinking it over. I know that it worked for me, but that is definitely not the route that people should take if they want to try to get better. They should definitely open up and talk to other people about what is happening and what is going on, because I know that if I did with the right person, then I probably would have gotten better much sooner. Or gotten better much sooner. We're not as well off as other people, so I can't really afford therapy. I mean, I don't really mind talking to people over the phone or over a computer screen. It's just talking is talking, so I think it's fine. I definitely feel like I'm getting better at jokes. But besides that, I definitely feel like I'm able to talk with people much better. Because I know that when I first started playing VR chat, I would just walk into lobbies quietly and just like wave at people and like yes and like no and stuff like that, like not talk at all. And maybe do like an emote or something, but I wouldn't talk. And then as my time grew, as my playtime grew, I started to talk more and more and more, and I just started to open up. I guess I'm still more quiet than other people, but I don't not use the mic. I talk, and I love my parents. But I don't think I have the best parents, but I feel like obviously it's true because they raised me. But if I didn't have them, then I wouldn't be me. So I am, while I don't resent my parents, I don't like a lot of what they do, but I can appreciate them for turning me into me, because I like the way that I am right now. I mean, definitely, because like I know that my dad was very, very, not very strict, but he would yell at us a lot. They wouldn't hit us, but he would yell at us a lot, and I know that I still have PTSD whenever he yells, even if he's not yelling at me and he's just like yelling over the phone as a joke or something. I know that I still jut up because that's hardwired into my brain that's bad, that I should be afraid of that. I'd say don't risk thinking that you're strong enough to go through it by yourself, because I did it, but it's not going to work for everyone. Go and find someone you trust, either one of your siblings, your parent, your best friend, someone on VR chat, someone you can even like type it to someone in Discord or something like that. Just talk to someone about it, and they'll talk to you about what they think, and that'll help influence you to get back onto the right track. Because I know that when I experienced that, like I said earlier, I felt super depressed. I didn't want to do anything. But I kept moving on because of YouTube, I guess. Like, I just kept watching YouTube, and these YouTubers helped me cope with being sad. Playing video games helped me cope with being sad. But yes, use those to cope, but you should still talk to someone, because thinking thinking about killing yourself is one of the worst things ever. And this is my opinion. But if anyone is ever seriously considering killing themselves, or if they have, and like there are people that have, they are the stupidest people in the world. There is no doubt about it that you should go and talk to someone before you make any rash decisions. 気分次第でスモークさって希望選んで戦う少年